The sun rose, golden light spilled over the horizon. It promised a beautiful day. Birds sang. Dew clung to the grass. It was a morning like any other. The first scream tore through the peace, then another and another, a wave of sound rising, crashing. The light was changing. It wasn't warmth anymore. It was pain, it was burning, it was wrong. People ran, they sought shelter, shadows, anything to escape the light. But it was too late. The change had begun. It was unstoppable. The sun's touch was swift, merciless. It twisted flesh and bone. It warped minds. People changed. They became something else, something monstrous. Skin bubbled and stretched, taking on unnatural hues. Eyes bulged, pupils shrinking to pinpricks. Teeth lengthened, sharpened into fangs. Screams became guttural roars. Humanity was lost in the transformation. What remained was primal, savage, hungry. The air filled with the stench of burning flesh and something else, something alien, in fact. It was the smell of the change. It was the smell of death. Not everyone changed instantly. Some retained a flicker of their former selves, a hand reaching out, begging, a whimper escaping twisted lips, a look of terror in eyes that were no longer human. They were glimpses of the people they once were, trapped within monstrous shells. They were pleading for help, for release, for death. But mercy was a luxury no one could afford. Survival meant hardening your heart. It meant looking away from the pleas of those you once loved. It meant running. Cities became tombs. Skyscrapers, once symbols of progress, now cast long, menacing shadows. The streets, once teeming with life, were eerily silent, except for the sounds, the shrieks, the growls, the echoes of the hunt. Those who survived the initial transformation sought refuge. They huddled in basements, in sewers, in any place the sun couldn't reach. They were the lucky ones, for now. The world held its breath, waiting, watching. The sun, a malevolent eye in the sky, ruled the day. Section 5, Whispers in the Dark. The darkness offered a different kind of terror. The whispers started, rumors of creatures even more monstrous, born not of the initial transformation, but something darker. The fear of the unknown was a powerful thing. People huddled closer in the dark. They armed themselves with whatever they could find. They told stories of hope, of rescue, of a world before the sun's betrayal. But hope was a fragile thing in the darkness. The silence was always broken by a scream, a growl, a desperate prayer, reminders that the world had changed and they were alone. Section 6, The Things We Do. Desperate times breed desperate measures. Morality became fluid, survival the only compass. Trust was a luxury they could no longer afford. They did what they had to survive, to protect their own. The line between good and evil blurred. There was only the light and the darkness, and the things that lurked within both. Stories were whispered, of sacrifices made, of betrayals, of the monsters they'd become to survive the monsters outside. And always, the question lingered, how much of ourselves have we lost? Section 7, Hope's Last Flicker. Rumors spread. A group, scientists, they claimed to have a cure, a way to reverse the transformation, to bring back the sun, to bring back their world. Hope, once a fragile flicker, flared. People took risks, ventured out into the daylight, risked the burning touch of the sun for a chance, however slim, to be human again, to see their loved ones free from the monstrous forms they now wore. The journey was fraught with danger. The creatures roamed, driven by an insatiable hunger. But the hope, however desperate, fueled their steps. They clung to it because in a world consumed by darkness, even the faintest glimmer of light was enough. Section 8, The Long Night. The scientists were gone, their supposed cure a cruel lie. Hope, once a beacon, turned to ashes in their mouths. They were alone. The long night stretched before them. The sun, a cruel parody of its former self, ruled the day. The creatures, bolder, more cunning, ruled the night. Humanity, what remained, clung precariously to existence. They adapted, evolved, learned to navigate the darkness, learned to fight the creatures that hunted them, learned to survive. But at what cost? Section 9. A new world. Years passed, decades, the sun still held its monstrous sway. The creatures still roamed, but humanity endured, changed, scarred but alive. They built new lives in the shadows, forged new communities, whispered stories of the past, warnings for the future. They were no longer the same species, the sun had seen to that. But perhaps in the crucible of that fiery apocalypse, something new was born. A new kind of human, forged in darkness, shaped by survival. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. Life, in all its monstrous beauty, had found a way.